July 27th. So let's mix things up a little bit and see what's going on for y'all. Uh-oh. Give these one quick shuffle and then we'll begin. So we're a week or so clear of Mercury retrograde. Things should be settling down a little bit more, but we did have some pretty interesting astrological aspects going on starting today. I was listening to Cute to Baba talk about there's some sexual healing going on out there and that things are a little conflicting in certain ways. Intensity. Isn't that the MO of the Scorpio? So let's take a look and see. Ooh, you have the Death card right out the gate. I love it. So the Death card, and the Sun card, 8 of Cups, King of Coins, 6 of Coins. So in this sentence, what I'm seeing is the Death card. So the Death card typically means that there is change coming. So that's your baptism, that's your renewal, that's the beginning of something exciting. It's some newness. So maybe you're putting something away, putting something down. Maybe you're quitting, maybe you're moving, maybe you're getting in a new relationship, maybe you're getting out of a relationship, having a baby, buying something new, changing jobs, speaking your piece. So this is a huge change, okay? So the Death card is change. We then have the Sun card. So just like in any word, you can say the F word with a lot of emphasis in a lot of different ways. So every card is going to have its own emphasis and its own environment. So the Death card is posted up right next to the Sun card. So if you look at the continuation of the remainder of this energy, I'm also picking up that there's a lot of excitement going on for you right now. We have the Death card and the Sun card. So that means there's usually, if you look at the Sun card, it has all these beautiful elements within it, okay? It's telling us that there is some celebration and joy. We have the 8 of Cups. Usually, Cups is love, but in specific, this card references speed. So this change that's happening for you will be rapid. It's going to be a big celebration. The Sun card is like the culmination of your harvest. It's the warmth, it's the heat, it's the fun, it's the harvest, it's the balance. You have the yin yang within that. You have Stonehenge, the circle, like things coming full circle, things also being different than the Fate card, where the Fate is things are changing. This actually, the Sun card brings us the idea that things are going to be of a celebration. So think of a picnic, think of the fall. We have the 8 of Cups, things moving quickly, the King of Coins, a harvest, having those elements of finances that you're managing in such a way that you're getting to enjoy them. However, even though you have all this celebration and stuff going on, you do have the 6 of Coins, which means this idea of work, okay? He's got the scale, the Libra scale, and then he has the mushrooms, which are our ideas and our dreams and the things that we want. He's kind of floating above them. So he's not quite sure how he's going to bring all of these ideas to ground, how he's going to create some finances, bring those finances to ground. Or maybe it's about what you want to do with your finances next, how you're going to spend your time or your money, because we have the King of Coins, which tells us we have expertise, we have the height of our career, or pretty much where we want to be right now. So Scorpio's feeling like they're kind of in a good place. And you're going to have some changes that are going on. They're going to be in a very positive way, might even be with love, because we have the 8 of Cups. And that's going to be one of those things that's going to be moving quick. Maybe you're going to meet somebody suddenly. I don't want to take up your general spread on that. If you want to book a reading and look at your love stuff in specific, that gets a little trickier doing for a group. But we do have the 8 of Cups. Let's see what's going on moving forward. So the Tower card is in play. So usually that's a negative thing. But this sentence is telling me that the Tower card has kind of shaken you up a little bit, and you've walked away from some things that weren't serving you. And for a long time, you questioned that. Did I do the right thing? You waver. And what I mean by waver is the 2 of Wands plays with that two sides of the fence thing. Unlike the 2 of Swords, which is analysis paralysis, where you kind of get stuck between two decisions and you're not sure what to do. The 2 of Wands is work. Wands is work. So the 2 of Wands is a working model. Like you're talking yourself into something, you're talking yourself out of it. So in response, you've taken a moment and you've gone into the Hermit, which is withdrawal, which is peace, which is reflection. You become the little monk and you've been thinking, what's good for me? Okay? Because you've already walked away from it. We already have the Tower card. Like the event's already happened. The tornado came in and tore up your life, or your car got wrecked, or you lost your job and COVID hit. Like whatever the story that you're telling yourself, that storm, that situation, that chaos has passed. So you have this chaos card, which is our tower. And so the chaos is kind of past. Boom, it's over. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Swords, and that's walking away, leaving it behind, not dealing with it anymore. And then you have the Two of Wands, a little bit of going back and forth, wanting to know what you want to do. You've been focusing pretty much on your work, fixing your finances, wanting to see if you can get those in alignment. You've got the Page of Wands, so you might be doing something that's regarding education. Now, Page of Wands is like a online class, or it's something that would be a small bite rather than like a PhD, a degree, or a college credit. So, or maybe even a course to which you can take it for 6 months or 8 months or training. But I do see the Page of Wands, and you might be finding yourself intrigued by learning something new, maybe a trade, because I'm seeing the Eight of Coins, which is on your feet and it keeps you kind of hopping. You want something that challenges your brain. I am seeing the Knight of Swords, Scorpio, and that's not all that great. And what I mean by that is the Knight of Swords is that snappy behavior. I always call that your, road rage, your PMS, your irrational, voice that comes because you haven't found your peace enough to keep it at a level. So when you have too much stimuli, a lot of us who have anxiety or history of anxiety, I personally did too, however I figured mine out, find the injury, find the cure. That'll work, kids. So you want to learn to play with that? Call me. Coaching. Bro, best money you'll ever spend. Don't get it from me, get it from somebody. I'm telling you. Brad, Ashton, tell them. So we have the Page of Wands, which is education and learning, but then this short temper because needs aren't getting met and you're feeling like all you do is work. That's not in the cards, but I'm hearing it. I have the Magician. So the Magician, you have a lot of beautiful cards. You have the Death card. It's my favorite. Really, people think they love the Lover's card, but it's not all that great. However, the Death card is one of my favorites. It always brings some refreshing change. That's why I always call it the baptism. I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective on life, because now, after practicing with being uncomfortable, I've learned that changes are the keys to the universe. Changes are the keys to growth, because if it's not growing, it's dying. I have this key here, so I can remind myself that the keys are to stay in movement, stay in flux, stay in flow. So the Magician is all about mastery. So what do you have when you have a magician? You don't have a little apprentice. You don't have the little assistant. The magician is literally the guy who's putting on the show. So what that tells me is with all of this energy, especially this chaos energy, and what is chaos energy but creation energy? You have all this movement going on within your life. So when you have movement, you get to decide where you go. And I want you to think for a minute what it feels like to make a hard left turn from a stop sign. You have to angle the whole steering wheel. What's his name? Bernie Mac talking about, right? So you got to turn the whole steering wheel. But when you're going already and you're in flow and you feel like you want to change directions, they're just small course corrections, right? So you have this master, and the magician is the one that's on stage and putting on the show. So I want that to remind you that you're in charge of how all these outcomes are playing out for you, that you are the architect of it. You have the magician in play. You have all the elements required and necessary for you. I see these elements that are here. Okay. He's got all the different things within the zodiac. You've got the swords, wands, cups. You've got this little elliptical on top reminding you that all things stay in flow. And I see a move for you, 7 of coins. So for some of you, this might mean a move. It may not be something that you're having now, but you might be considering it. Because not every Scorpio on the planet is going to be moving right now. But I do see this 7 of coins, which is movement, going from one place to another, crossing that bridge. Some of you, it's a literal move, and others, it's going to be movement from one place to another, which is indicated here between the Death card and the Coins card, a strong movement forward, okay? Let's pull some cards for you from Divination of the Ancients, and we will look at your moon reading. So this is your Scorpio moon, and then we will talk to you about, and then we'll pull a card from Divination of the Ancients. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. For those of you that haven't checked out the website recently, it's had a whole makeover. Not a makeover, but it's been tweaked to look a little sexy and streamlined. So check it out anyway. Give me some feedback on that. Classes are being staggered per the need of the students. So you want to get in on the Tarot 101 and any of the other classes coming up, please hit me up. I don't want a financial situation to keep you from getting in the class. I have solutions for that. We'll make it easy for you. But I'm probably going to push some of these to next week because I'm moving. But there's going to be a Saturday class, a Tuesday, and a Sunday night. Hit me up on that. So 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is typically, my explanation is, come here. My explanation is that the Six of Swords is like coming out of the rapids onto a smooth plane of glass. Okay, the lake is clear. You're done. The ride is over. And notice your congruency, Scorpio, is the Hermit card. So the Hermit is that gathering evidence, staying by ourselves, thinking what we want to do before we execute a decision, which is smart, right? That's smart. Thinking before you speak, that's EQ. So I have the Emperor card, which is making decisions. You also have the Four of Wands and the King of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands typically means commitment in relationships. However, we don't see any love cards as of yet, but you have the Emperor card here. The Emperor is our leader, an individual, single, independent, very driven in leadership. Okay. This might be in pertaining to work, but I do see the Four of Wands. You're keeping very quiet. You're keeping your moves close to the chest. You're not revealing to other people what you're doing. Maybe you're sick of an audience. Maybe you just want some privacy to decide what it is you want to do next, because we have the Seven of Swords, which is kind of sneaky. I do feel like, I always say sneaky and people don't like it, but the Seven of Swords are taking things without doing due process, or taking things kind of without a witness. If you look at it, she's sneaking on the battlefield, taking shit. She's picking up the gold, and she's picking up the shoes, and she's picking up the swords. And that's not stuff that belongs to us, but it's opportunist, right? So Scorpio's taking the opportunity to move in quiet. So this isn't always negative. Ace of Wands is a decision, and I do see new love for some of you. We have the Page of Cups. That means a new relationship, a fresh start. I want you to know the congruencies between this reading and the one before is you have the Hermit card in play in both readings. I see the Knight of Wands. Why do I keep picking up relationship for somebody? You've got some internal struggles going on in a battle. Usually that's indicated by, well, I would say the Seven of Cups and Five of Wands really feels like the Devil card. This is, what am I addicted to? What am I overwhelmed by? Too many things on my plate. So right now, Scorpio is having a very hard time between balancing the independence and finding a way to clear the things that are on their plate in order to make some decisions. You have this internal struggle. You want to move forward. You're overwhelmed. You're fighting with yourself, Scorpio. Victory is on the other side. There's the Magician. Ah, hot damn. All right. So I really love it when we have congruencies that pop up with the two different readings, because even though we're talking about different aspects of our personality and things that are going on, the Magician and the Hermit were the underlying themes for Scorpio in the general reading. Now, mind you, you're all one being. Spirit and mind, mind, body, spirit, they're all intertwined. They're not different aspects. They're different looks at aspects. So we have the Magician card too. So for you, in your moon reading, it's asking you to step out and be that leader. So perhaps you're already well driven within your general spread, but in your relationships and your moon and how you're thinking, the cards are asking you to take leadership. You're being asked to move forward. The Emperor is all about not being the individual that really asks for much advice within the community. So you're not going to get a panel of advisors. You're not going to get a little democracy going. This Emperor is really all about making decisions completely full with EQ and all on your own. Interesting things that I see in play. Now, like I said, call me for your relationship reading, karmaondeck.com, or text me. But we have Page of Cups, new relationship. We have the Four of Wands, which is commitment. We have the Knight of Cups. I'm sorry, the Knight of Wands, which is, if you look at this card, he's literally on his knees asking someone out, or pledging himself to the Queen. Pledging himself on his knees, and he has his wand, but he's like, I pledge myself, I give, I'm willing to ask for and share. So this is really amazing for those of you that are looking at new relationship energy, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's a bunch of cards. Where's the other one? Oh, and the Magician. So that's why it's on you. The only thing that I'm seeing is the Devil card, which are these Seven of Cups, Five of Wands, and the Devil card. Now, the Devil card is self-doubt. It's habits. It's addictions. It's substances. It can even be religious dogma. It can be anything that's holding you back. I would say to you that the only thing that's holding you back, Scorpio, because I see the Ace of Pentacles, which is really good money, really high attainment. It's like even above the court cards in a way. You're keeping your mouth quiet. You're not speaking to what you want. You're not communicating. This is my Snow White card, guys. This is the card where she's Four of Swords inside the chapel, and she's hiding out because she doesn't want anybody to know her business. And Scorpio is expecting the situation right now within this relationship dynamic and with the overwhelming energies that are in the past and this self-doubt. Scorpio is waiting for the perfect scenario to come. So you literally want the universe to plate your food. Okay, you're not going, there's the buffet, go eat. You are expecting the universe to deliver it to you. You're expecting it to be plated up and delivered, and voila. Okay. However, they're giving you a very different bit of advice. You are conflicted in a lot of ways, going back and forth and fighting with yourself, and you're isolating because you have the Hermit and the Four of Swords, which is hiding out. So in your hiding out, you're creating more conflict. You're not getting feedback. You're not talking about it. You're just in your head. Now, card that's telling me what the direction you should take these next few steps is the Emperor. And the Emperor is all about what? Leadership, and it's about being self-driven. So King and Queen rule together. Emperor, Empress rule independently, and they meet in the middle. Think, I'm not even going to use these. I used to say think Will and Jada, but that's too much of a hot topic. So Angelina Jolie, like whoever, like two big people that do something in a bigger way rather than doing that. So you have the Emperor and the Four of Wands. So you're trying to find a way to negotiate and navigate things that you want. However, they're not going to be delivered to you, Scorpio. You have to ask for what you want. You have to speak to what you want. Call it to you. Call. Let's do that. Oh, yes. All right, let's take a look and see what your message is from Divination of the Ancients. Like, subscribe, and share. For those of you on my Facebook, please come on my YouTube and check it out over there, because you can see the cards on the table with a picture-in-picture, and you can see the progression of your reading. So here is your message from the Divine. Incubation. Ooh, and I love it that it has Egypt on the back. I'm all about Egypt lately, the visions I've been having. So the Dreams card is telling you to listen to your subconscious mind. Here's the cool thing about meditation. The moment you ask a question, before your linear thoughts have made the sentences, should I go on this vacation? Should I take this job? Should I go on a date with this person? Like whatever that looks like. If you sit in meditation and you clear your mind and then you bring that question to the forefront of your brain, what happens is you go, so should I? Boom, you have the answer. So dreams, incubation is for you to trust your intuition. Your subconscious mind is moving at a pace of about 1,500 words per minute. You can't speak that fast. There's no way. So the data's in there. You've got to trust yourself long enough and allow for the data to break down into small enough pieces that you can put them in the little crock pot, let them incubate, let them percolate, let them stop picking at the pieces so much, the moving parts. And I know that that's really difficult right now with all the chaos that's going on around us. Everything's changing all the time. Is my city open? Is my city closed? Are we this rule or that rule, and unemployment this? And we have so much going on that we're having a very hard time not picking apart the little details. But Scorpio, it's time for you to trust yourself and start taking some leadership on the direction you want. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Right shortly after this, what am I supposed to be doing, Scorpio? Then we'll be doing some Sagittarius. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to break this. I'm not going to do both in a row. This way people can just come on and look at Scorpio and grab it instead of doing two at once and picking out the timestamp. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like I said, come and subscribe to my YouTube. Much love.